What's up, sports bettors? I got another player prop bet for you, and we are looking at the young player Zach Logue. So we are going through the best player prop bets. So I found a bet I really like on the OddsJam Positive EV betting tool. So again, this tool just constantly scans the markets to try to find line inefficiencies and line discrepancies, spots with value. Right? Out of the millions of odds on sportsbooks at any given time, only a small fraction of them are actually profitable bets due to the VIG, the juice that sportsbooks bake into their markets. So you really need software to try to find you these sharp bets. So the bet I'm looking at is Zach Logue over 4.5 hits allowed. So you can see that this is minus 121 odds on Caesars, minus 121 odds. And then Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker, they're pricing this at minus 163. So we can go ahead, and there will be a link, to this app in the description. It's just a free app to do historical player prop research. So we can see Logue has pitched 7 games this season, and his over, in terms of hits allowed, over 4.5 has cashed 5 out of 7 games. 5 out of 7 games is 71.4% of the time, which is an implied price of minus 250. So in other words, if you were to have, bet on Logue over 4.5 hits allowed in all of his games at minus 250 odds, you would have broken even, right? And if you would have bet at better odds, like minus 180 or whatever, you would have made money. So 5 out of 7 games this has cashed, we're getting minus 121. And of course, every game is different, right? So you can't necessarily just look at historical trends and historical stats and think you have a good bet. Every single game is different. Today, Logue is pitching against the Tigers. Maybe in his last games, he was pitching against really good hitting teams like, the Astros, the Yankees. So maybe this total is a bit, inflated, given that he's pitching against a worse team today, which is why you also need to look at real-time market data, right? So you don't only want to look at historical stats, but you also want to look at real-time market data, because real-time odds, real-time market data encompasses all information available in the market, right? The fact that Logue is pitching against the Tigers and they're a worse team is encompassed, in real-time odds, but it's not encompassed in obviously the historical trends. So the bet I'm going with, it looks good to the historical stats, again, which have some caveats. You don't want to rely on them. And it also looks good to the real-time market data, right? Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker, they're pricing this all the way at minus 163. So we're getting 42 cents of improvement from the sharpest bookmaker. So that's a pretty clear indication to me as a sports bettor that, yeah, this is a bet I want to be on. So I went ahead, I locked it in for $100, as you can see on the screen. So our bet had a 5.77% edge, right? As you can see here, 5.77%, locking it in for $100. So our profit margin quantified in dollars is just your stake times your edge, right? So $5.77. So like my goal as a sports bettor is literally just place as many positive EV bets as I can on a daily basis that have an edge over the sportsbook. And some bets will win, some bets will lose, but because I have the mathematical advantage, the edge, I know I'm going to win in the long run as a sports bettor. So this is a bet you want to be all over as a sports bettor. So I went ahead, I locked it in. The true odds are minus 138. Once you remove the juice, find the midpoint of the market on Pinnacle. So essentially if you just find the midpoint here, it's like whatever, roughly minus 140. So that's the true odds according to the sharpest bookmaker once you remove the VIG, minus 140-ish. And then we're getting minus 121, which is better odds than the true odds, which is why this bet is positive EV. Currently the highest profit margin bet available on OddsJam. So I went ahead, I locked it in, and let's make some money.